Every day from 4 to 6, Chuck Hammer and Jordan Campbell bring you the very best sports talk.
Y'all are the two Fox Sports Show broadcasts.
That's not even a compliment.
That is a compliment.
All right, let me give you.
I'll take it, Sean.
Let me give you a Sean O compliment, okay?
Okay, Jordan, what is?
Sean O, you are a radio station caller.
Thank you so much.
You're welcome.
Thank you so very much.
You are welcome. You certainly are a caller.
Thank you so much, Jordan. I need that. But Chuck,
What's up?
you ready for some golf?
Ready for some golf? Hey, we gonna go play?
Hey, Chuck.
Yeah.
Tell me, what about those St. Louis Cardinals?
Oh,
What about the car?
We're driving this car all over the road today, Sean O. Pick a lane and stay in it.
Shoals Sports Talk. Every day from 4 to 6 on Fox Sports Shoals. Welcome in to SST.
Hello, sports fans.
What would you say you do here?
Sports.
The only local sports talk in the Shoals with Jordan Campbell and Chuck Hammer.
Gentlemen, start your engines.
High school, college, and the pros. Chuck and Jordan talk it all. Want to be part of the show?
You're talking Macho Madness.
Call or text 256-764-1340.
You got what I need.
Here comes the brand new flavor in your ear. Time for new flavor in your ear.
Total coverage.
Football, basketball,
A
baseball.
whole day of sports.
Now, here are your hosts, Jordan and Chuck.
Welcome into Show Sports Talk on a Friday. Jordan Campbell alongside Chuck Hammer. If you are new here, then you know Fridays. Chuck, I don't want to say we cheat, but Fridays typically we're not on for the full 2 hours because we would normally have our Broadway sports media show or a live sporting event. Well, today we're going to be on live for 30 minutes. We'll take texts. Probably not going to have time for phone calls. We are live in the studio right now.
If you thought that I couldn't figure out a way to shorten the Friday show even more, I did. And that's because at 5:30 we're going to have we're still going to be inside the show. We're going to have the SEC report, last one of the year, and then
4:30.
Yeah, 4:30. And then at 4:45 we will go live to Greenville, where Alabama is taking on, I think it's South Carolina is who they're playing in that game, if I'm not mistaken. And then we'll see Tennessee and Ole Miss in the nightcap. It's the SEC women's basketball tournament going on this weekend, so we'll have tournament action for you starting today. I know games were on Thursday and also on Wednesday, but we have other things going on the air, so we're going to pick up the SEC women's basketball tournament starting at 4:45.
If you have ever wondered what it looks like to do a show, which I don't know why you would, we are now live streaming on YouTube and on our Facebook page. So feel free to join in on the fun, comment there if you would like, or you can text the show 256-764-1340.
Just like Les has. Les just texts the show and says boo.
Is that what he just did?
He said boo, and I'm guessing
is he mad because we're not taking calls?
I guess he's booing because he doesn't support women's athletics.
Is that what it is?
There you go, Les. Says a lot about you, right?
You don't want to hear about Allie Craig Cruz? Actually, no, you don't want to hear about Allie Craig Cruz. I know Les.
I'm giving him a hard time. He's probably just not happy that we're going to be off early, and that we're not taking phone calls.
Hey, look,
I don't
Les,
think he called yesterday.
Les, you're an OG. You've been around this show since its inception, right? Just be glad we're live for 30 minutes, okay? There are plenty of times that we would have pre-recorded and got out of here for 30 minutes, but we're live in the studio today. So if you ever wanted to see what it kind of looks like in the studio, what have you, you can check it out on Facebook or YouTube, or you don't have to. It's totally up to you. All right, so congratulations once again to the Rogers Lady Pirates winning the blue map. You think it's set in for them yet? How long does that? I've never won anything like that. I mean, don't get me wrong. I'm the proud owner of multiple UNA intramural championships T-shirts. You get one for every championship you win. I ain't never won a blue map from an organization like the HSAA.
I feel confident that I have more intramural championship shirts than you do, but that's a whole different story because my mom worked at the intramural office.
Okay,
so-
well, just because you got a T-shirt and a bibby to go to sweep win doesn't make you an intramural
I mean,
champion.
if you went through my dresser drawer, you would think I was the greatest athlete. And why did this guy go to college for 15 years?
Exactly,
So,
exactly.
yeah, I think it's probably set in. I think what's incredible to think is those girls had to sit around, and I don't know if the scheduling is quite this bad every year, but Jordan, I still can't get over the fact that those girls had to play at 9:00 last Friday morning, and they waited all the way till 9 a.m. yesterday to play their state
Yeah,
championship
it wasn't
game.
great. Wasn't great
But
scheduling.
yeah, they had all day. Hey, one thing about playing that early, you get to revel in it all day, right? You get to live it up for the rest of the day, and I'm sure they did. And in fact, I saw that Rogers softball got a win last evening. So I mean, it's just rain and winds out there in Green Hill.
It's rain and winds. Hallelujah! It's rain and winds.
Are you taking a cue out of our good buddy WBDR's book? You writing parody songs now?
You said it. All I did was put the voice of an angel to it. Iron City Assassin Bill is written in. He says, "I'm with Les." And Les says, "I'd rather listen to you guys." Hey, we appreciate it. We appreciate you guys being a part of the show and wanting to call in. But we're only going to be on for 30 minutes. As a matter of fact, Chuck, I actually had us 3 segments long today. 8 minutes a segment. We need to be hitting a timeout, but I think I'm just going to extend this
Hey,
first
before you do
segment
that, I
to
got to ask you a
16.
serious question that's just popped into my head.
And I have something sports to
this
get to.
this is
too.
a testament to our local schools. Let's throw out last spring sports because we didn't have them.
Okay.
Has it been 2 years that we went to the end of the season and played the last game that could possibly be played in a sport? It's been 2 years, right? 2 straight years.
Let's see. Mars Hill for football.
Mm-hmm.
Last year we didn't have a basketball.
But they got there. They got to the state championship game.
Who did?
Didn't Deschler get there?
I thought they lost in the semis.
I'll have to look.
I could be wrong, but I thought they lost in the semis. I could be
Did
wrong.
all of our teams lose in the semis? Because I know Lauderdale County boys made it. Deschler girls made
I
it.
think they all lost in the semis last year. I could be wrong.
I think Lauderdale County boys definitely made the state championship game.
Yes, they did.
Yes.
They did make the game.
So
Okay, so yes, I guess that one counts. And then 2 years ago we had Brooks win a baseball state championship.
Marcel won a baseball state.
Rogers played for it. So
Mhm.
yeah.
2 straight years.
And we've had golf. We've had golf state championships.
Oh yeah, but I'm just talking about out of the major sports. I mean, we've had
Golf is a major sport to me, Chuck.
We've had success in a lot of other sports, but I'm talking about in the major.
Dessler did lose to Aniston in the finals last year.
Okay, yeah. So there you go. That's a testament to the athletes around here, and to you, we say thank you seriously and thank you sarcastically because you're really making it hard on us.
Yeah.
Because I was sharing this information with you earlier, and I welcome it. Please don't take this as a negative. I'm already having parents, coaches. I hadn't had any players, but I've had coaches and parents already messaging me saying, you got to come out and watch baseball, softball. And to them, I say, thank you. I'm going to get out there as soon as possible. But I'm also thinking in the back of my head, I'd like to have a small moment to myself.
There are no small moments, Chuck. You got to work. All right. John writes in on Facebook. It says, women's sports are great. Look at all the women in basketball that would have loved to have played for either Connecticut or Tennessee in the Pat Summitt years. Those who shun women's sports might want to see how loyal and the time taken to practice and more that these girls give. Yes, boys do it too, but girls really deserve to be acknowledged as they put on great sports for their fans, move on to be better in life for their camaraderie. I don't know if that's how you spell it or not. That's good enough for me. If you're asking spelling for Chuck and I, we're not going to judge you. And then he said, involved in sports and life. Great 30-minute show today. Here's what I want to say. I actually thought about this the other day. We need to give more respect to all sports because though we are fans of football and really men's basketball and baseball, softball to a certain extent.
Women's basketball here.
Well, yeah, women's basketball here, but I'm talking about the larger narrative, right?
Oh, okay.
You and I don't get on here and break down Unique Thompson's double-double abilities at all. We don't do it. And by the way, I was thinking the other day, Asia Wilson might be the best college basketball player in the past 5 years, but that's a different discussion for a different day. But all in all, I was sitting there thinking to myself, and I said, you know what? They put in just as much work. Just because they don't have the draw doesn't mean they don't deserve the attention. I thought it was.
Oh, that's what I tell people all the time about any of our athletes, especially when it comes to signing days and we want to be there, because
The most
it
competitive
doesn't
games you and I
matter-
have watched the past couple of years have been girls basketball.
Right.
games.
It doesn't matter if you're signing a scholarship
Softball.
to go play at football at Alabama or if you're signing a scholarship to go play softball at Blue Mountain College. To me, it's the same thing. To me, it's the same thing.
Yeah.
You have worked just as hard and maybe even harder than that other individual. And it's a college scholarship. It's a collegiate athletic opportunity. And I don't diminish that by any stretch of the imagination.
Okay, so I want to do a total 180 here on the subjects that we're talking about because Chuck, let's face it, we're probably going to take a short time out at some point, but for the most part, we're going to go straight here. I'm going to play this sound. This is Johnny Manziel. Okay, he's on Chris Long's Green Light podcast. Listen to what he has to say, and then I've got one question for you and the listeners.
Could you beat Tom Brady at golf?
I'm getting pretty good. You know, I'm a work in progress. I'm probably a 0 or a 1 handicap. So we
Is that
play a
good?
handicap seat.
My producer's
gonna
saying
shoot
that's
about,
really good.
I'm going to shoot about even par to a couple over every time. So no,
Hey,
I'm
look
getting
at this
better.
being all humble, Johnny Humble about golf.
Well, here's the thing too. I guess I'll go ahead and I've been thinking about this the last couple of weeks. You know, I'm going to give myself. I'm 28. I'm giving myself 12 years to try and play professional golf. I'm going to grind this out and see how good I can get and see if I can't, enter in some tournaments and see if I can't go try and play professional golf eventually. I think it is a very uphill battle, but that's what I'm setting for my goals. The next 12, I have 12 years to try and make a PGA Tour event.
That's amazing. I'm putting it on my calendar. You guys put that on my calendar.
So I'll set a calendar to
33.
2033.
33. Look at us.
If not,
We're good.
I'll come back on the show and
All right.
and we'll talk about what went wrong.
So, Chuck, my question to you and the listeners after hearing that is this. 12 years. 12 years. $6 million is what Johnny Manziel is worth, right? So he's not worried about money if he handles things correctly. 12 years. He's starting at a scratch golfer. Do you think if he dedicates himself, gets a coach, starts working out to be better at golf, he can play in a PGA Tour event? We talked about this on the approach yesterday.
I'm going to say no.
Why?
I mean, aren't we to the point in professional sports where, I mean, you've got to start at such a young age and you have got to obviously have some God-given ability. And again, I guess I got to take the guy at his word. By the way, whose podcast was that?
Chris Long.
Who doesn't know?
Chris Long. Whatever you're about to ask, it's Chris Long.
Who doesn't know what a handicap is?
It's Chris Long.
I mean, I've played golf, I've dabbled, I have clubs, but I'm not and I watch golf, but I'm not like this super huge golf nerd. I mean, I thought pretty much when you talk about, and I'm not even, I don't know how exactly all the ins and outs of the handicap system, but I know if you're a single digit or scratch golfer, that means you're pretty good. So come on, Chris Long's got to step his game up. I think that it's something that you've got to start at a young age, obviously have that God-given ability and talent. And I don't know, he's how old is he now?
28. He's my age.
He's already starting to, athletically decline, right?
It's golf.
But see, you're a golfer.
I'm not a good one.
But and that's right. You're not a professional golfer.
I'm not even a good one.
I mean, to me,
do you know what the oldest?
I feel like golf and broadcasting go hand in hand together because you know what? Everybody thinks that they can do our job. Golf and broadcasting. Everybody thinks that they can do that job. Because don't you feel that with professional athletes more than any other sport? I mean, you've got the bust, Jerome Bettis. He's an outlier. He was going for a pro bowling career or said he could, bowl professionally. But Golf, you just hear that from almost every other athlete. That they feel like they could be on tour if they dedicate.
But here's the
themselves.
deal.
Haven't we seen this movie already with Tony Romo?
But here's the deal. I believe that it's a different sport, or it's a different outcome if your only goal, your only concern, whatever, is learning to be a pro golfer.
That's his sole focus.
That's his sole focus. Tony Romo was
a broadcaster. And a quarterback.
Same thing for John Smoltz, right? Plus he was 35, 36. These other guys that everybody's like, well, they tried to be on they didn't just dedicate themselves to golf. And here's the argument that I brought up yesterday on the approach. And I got laughed off of the approach when I said I thought he could do it.
Oh, you might get laughed off of here.
But hold on. Let me finish my thought.
Yeah, finish your
thought. Do you know what the oldest rookies on the PGA Tour are? You got a clue?
Probably in their late 20s.
Alan Doyle was 47 and Jim Rutledge was 47 when they were rookies on the tour. Rookies on the tour.
Is that a rookie on the tour, or is that somebody
rookie on the tour?
Okay.
Here's let's see. Doyle was a rookie in 96. Rutledge was a rookie in 2007. Doyle and Rutledge took different paths to the tour. Rutledge was a career pro who played the Asian Tour, Canadian Tour in Europe, and made, by his count, 13 attempts at the PGA Tour Q School before breaking through in 2007. So, Rutledge was a pro golfer who just couldn't pass Q School. Doyle was a little different. Doyle was a driving range owner and career amateur who didn't turn pro until his mid-40s in 1995. That was a year after winning 4 significant amateur championships in 1994. He was also a part of 3 Walker Cup teams. Doyle was arguably the best amateur golfer in the world the year that he turned pro. After turning pro, Doyle played on the Web.com Tour, then called the Nike Tour in 1995. He won 3 times, including the Nike Tour Championship, which garnered his PGA Tour membership for 1996. Now, if we saw a guy do that in his 40s, when he didn't turn pro, like one guy was already a pro and just couldn't get past Q School, the other guy was a driving range owner. Why do we not think Johnny Manziel dedicated for 12 years?
That's the key word. We've never seen him be dedicated to anything.
Yeah, that's the same thing.
That's what I worry about. That's what he did at Texas A&M. It was all on talent alone. Everything that he's done on a football field was driven by talent and maybe a small percentage of work. But from everything that we know about that guy, from the people that were in the know, is that he wasn't committed.
I always thought it wasn't his lack of ability to work. I just thought it was, for lack of a better term, he was an idiot. Not dumb, just an idiot with some of the decisions that he made.
Coach T said he'd be better off driving NASCAR. I agree. If he dedicated himself to NASCAR, maybe.
I don't know, man. I think you guys have way too high of a sense of. Now, again, I'm not saying the guy could win. I'm not saying the guy could win. But here's what I will say. Did any one of you think that Tim Tebow had a shot at making it to the major leagues? If you did, you don't get a vote here. Unless your vote is yes, he can do it.
I always thought that Tim Tebow could make it to the major leagues because of the spectacle.
And at the very least, Johnny Manziel can make it because of the spectacle. But I think Johnny Manziel
you can't make
it a tour exemption.
Well, yeah, but they're not giving it. I mean, who's gotten a tour exemption like that before? I mean, I don't.
How many Johnny Manziels are there?
Yeah. Well, I mean, yeah, but how many times have we heard about all these pro athletes? You would think if they wanted to invite them in to be part of the tour, they would just do it.
Look, here's what I'll say. And I couldn't do it because I'm not starting at a 0 handicap. I'm not a good golfer.
I was about to say, why don't you do it?
I'm not a good golfer. I mean, I went to the driving range today because I'm going to play Sunday afternoon, and it was worse than the last time I played. It was awful, man. I could not do it. But if you're starting from scratch golf level, you don't think that there are golf professionals out there that can't get your handicap to a +5, +6? In 12 years, all you're doing is going every single day to the driving range, to the putting green, working out in a way to build your golf swing, focusing on that group of muscles and doing lifts that focus on that.
What he didn't tell you is he was playing from the ladies' tees.
Well, it could be.
They were like, "Hey, there's a couple tee boxes back there."
Daniel, or let's see here. Coach T writes in and says, "No way, MJ isn't on the PGA Tour, and he's played for how long?" Yeah, MJ's been running a shoe empire his entire life. The way that I envision this possibly going for Johnny Manziel is he doesn't do anything but golf. I don't think it's outrageous to think, man. I don't think it's outrageous to think.
I am just shocked that you were optimistic on this.
I don't think he can win. He's not going to beat a
No.
Brooks. He couldn't beat a Jim Herman. He's not going to beat
So
any of
what you're
those guys.
saying is you don't think he's going to be competing for majors.
No, but no, he's not. But I think he can earn his way on there in 12
see.
years.
I'd be shocked if
he's dedicated.
I'd be
enough.
shocked if a year from now if he's still doing this.
If he's dedicated enough. A couple other texts we've got in here. The Iron City Assassin says, "Wow, what a butthole. He couldn't put the needed effort into football. Golf requires a dedication and sacrifice he has no chance of working through. I guarantee he is a lying piece of crap regarding his handicap." I will say this.
I'm not going to make that claim because I don't know.
I've seen his golf swing. Doesn't look like a zero handicap golf swing to me. I mean, I'm not saying he hits the ball poorly or
It's
anything
somewhere
like that.
between Tiger and Charles Barkley, somewhere in that.
Somewhere
in
he's
there.
better. He has a better chance of making it to the tour than Charles, without a doubt. Without a doubt. Les says, if you're going to be talking about Johnny, go ahead and go to women's basketball. All right, Les. What would you like for us to talk about?